Hello, welcome to another Clover Trading YouTube video. You got Kyle here, Huddy here, Dom here. That is me. And today we're going to be talking about the stocks that we are watching going into next week, our Sunday night watch list, if you will. If you like these videos, if you like our Friday videos or Sunday videos, as well as our Monday videos, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Leave a comment if you have any other tickers that you are watching as well. We're just going to try to kind of go through the market as we see it right now in small cap land and kind of give you the areas which we are prioritizing and which patterns we are looking for going into the fresh week. If that sounds fun, subscribe to the channel, and we love to see you every morning, 8:45 a.m. for our Good Morning NASDAQ stream.
Beautiful. All right, kick us off, Don. What are we watching? What are we looking at?
Yeah, kind of continues to be a weird week where there's like a lot of stocks. I think Kyle just said it before we even went live. There's a ton of stocks moving. Some are coming into patterns, some are not quite. Um, but they all have not really worked out perfectly. Like I've traded a few breakouts on GPUS. PONY was a really solid breakout over the course of the entire week from, I believe, Tuesday when I bought it on stream. For our webinar with four leaf and black clovers, and that continues to go higher. Definitely a world where if that really continues, it will be on watch for a backside first red day type of opportunity. It has gone red a lot over the course of this run, so not going to be as simple and easy as that. But definitely a really solid breakout there that is starting to extend itself. I do have a swing on for Tesla, kind of watching it as it's been basing and bottoming out significantly off its highs over the past few months. And I know Kyle's watching this and trading this as well, but I'll just bring it up. And I'm trading TSLL instead of actually Tesla here, just because it is friendlier on the account and um, I feel like just an easier trader. If you're coming from small cap land, you're basically trading Tesla's price action, but doing it on a cheaper stock. And watching for that 295 break on Tesla, we got that on Friday. And looking for some continuation, kind of taking a much more swing approach here, being patient with it, and looking for a big bounce back on Tesla, through the 200-day moving average and hopefully into the low to mid 300s there. So that is kind of my Tesla watch. I know Kyle is looking at the swing approach as well. And a nice start at the end of this week going into next week. So definitely will be a top watch going into next week. NVNI, your typical small cap breakout setting up. Friday kind of failed the breakout level so far. But I really do like this. It's been a significant bounce from the 30-cent area all the way into the 70s on Friday morning. So now we kind of either have a fail off of this level, it's just a shortened resistance, and we fade off into the long kiss goodnight, or it starts to consolidate higher above the 55, 60-cent area, and we build towards a really big breakout. I feel like we see these a few times a year where these low price stocks come off their lows, trade a good amount of volume, and they just don't go away. And I really do like these low price stocks because they remind me a lot of OTCs. And if this can get a big breakout through what is the breakout level on that one?
76,
76.
2-3.
I think maybe we have like a dollar magnet and maybe you can push a little further, but has a good history of multi-day runs. So we'll be watching that one closely going into next week as well. Those are kind
Nice.
of my top watches going into next week.
Right on. I guess I'll add on to that just because I have similar, but I have maybe a little bit more as well. Yeah, NVNI, this failed today. I like the double top because if it does break that in the future, it'll look really good. But I will say, if it closes and doesn't recover somewhat, this will be pretty ugly, and I would imagine needs some more development if it's going to have a chance to get back there. But we'll see. There's a little bit of time today. We are filming this on a Friday, but we'll see where this closes. But the lower this goes, the uglier I think this looks, and the grimmer, a breakout kind of looks. But yeah, same thing. Tesla, I am along as well. Sold a tenth a little bit, so I've locked some in, but again, I am looking for more like 220 or 310s, 320s for a push next week. There's also QBTS, which I believe all of us missed this buy. Even I wasn't even watching, but had I would have loved to get this dip here in the eights. Held that kind of this breakout perfectly on earnings, and now here we are, almost triple topping in the 11s, and so. Not really watching it for a breakout, so to speak. It totally could, but I've missed the play. I'm going to accept my fate. Where I think things are interesting is that RGTI, again, another quantum runner that ran with QBTS, back in the day. Feels forever ago, but it was just a few months ago. They also have earnings, I believe, on the 12th. So it's either going to be Monday morning or Monday afternoon. I got to double check that because I do have a very small starter. I mean, if I stop out under these low nines here, it'll be like a couple grand loss. So very small. Wanted to maybe add if it was going to break over 11s in anticipation, but it looks like there isn't any anticipation. So my thesis might be wrong because I'm not really a fan nor recommend holding through earnings on just like a short-term swing or day trade idea. I just thought because they're coming up, I was thinking the market would anticipate a move, and maybe it won't happen until after earnings if they're good, or if they're bad, that's going to crap itself. Who knows? But I would keep an eye on the quantums. Right? We also have QUBT. This one's actually uptrending a little bit better than RGTI, which is interesting. But because QBTS is going, I would keep an eye on all of them. Right? Even INOQ is the like a larger cap one. This one is uptrending. What was the other one, Dom? That really low float one.
UMCO.
Yeah, QMCO. Where's that at?
Yeah, it's down in the dumps.
No, yeah, that one's in the gutter. But yeah, so keeping those on watch as things get interesting and earnings come out next week as well. Fannie Mae, still it's going sideways. Yesterday it looked promising, but today not so much. So we'll see. I do have a starter along, but again, if we just keep chopping sideways here, I probably end up cutting it for a very small loss just because it's gone nowhere. But was worth attempt because it could have done any one of these moves and immediately been back to the highs. ASST. Possible red day today. No real plays for me going forward with this. This one, at first I thought this was pretty scammy of a Bitcoin treasury company, but then as I looked into it, it actually is more legit than I realized, and so I have no idea where this ends up settling. But I eventually will probably see it very similar to the likes of CEP and the blue chip of them all, MSTR kind of idea. So yeah, that's on watch, but again, it's just not much of a play there for me. Dom also mentioned Pony. Pony, I am technically still long, but by the end of the day, I will probably be all sold. I really don't care to hold anything longer. It could go higher, but it's at that kind of that inflection point where it could easily pull back pretty big. And the higher this goes, like if this goes 2021, by next week, I would also be looking for a first red day. So if this keeps extending itself and blowing off, it'll definitely be on watch for that. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm looking at all my charts. Maybe something pops up on scan later, but I doubt it. I think this is all I've got going in for next week.
Nice. Well done. You guys took all my tickets.
I was going to say, do we leave anything for you, Heidi? Feel free to just repeat
not.
if you have any different thoughts. Sorry about that.
That's all good. I think there's some stocks I have third eye watches on. I think Dom's dead on with Pony there. A couple more days of this, or maybe like a gap up of extension, and I am going to be interested in a first red day. We got at least a 4-day run here, and it's getting quite clean. We just need some, ideally, some sped up price action, some more volume to really get me interested, and I'll be watching it for sure. Definitely getting to that point where it looks good to me. What else looks good? Immediate ASST, I'm going to keep an eye on. This had some pretty crazy news this week, and being up from 50 cents to 8 and really only pulling back 10%. They're merging into a company with a well-known billionaire investor. I don't know for sure if it's going to break out, but if it is going to break out, I want to have eyes. So I'm keeping half an eye on ASST kind of intently. You mentioned FNMA. I am watching FNMA, but for now, it's not really volumistic. But the chart looks decent. That's kind of all I'm really watching. I guess Pony and ASST are the only two stocks that I really see myself taking action on into next week. So I like to keep my watch list pretty barren and clean. I only like to watch one, two, maybe 3 or 4 tickers at a time. ASST is a long way from me doing anything with it, and Pony I think is closer. So those are probably on my watch list come Monday.
There we go. I like it. A lot of things on a watch. Okay, everybody. Well, that's it. Straight to the point. Again, if you didn't have a good week last week, review, learn, study, and get better prepared for this next week. And hopefully you will continue to do so and refine and refine and refine. And before you know it, you'll become the trader you always wanted to be, right, Dom?
Sure.
Little or not planned words of wisdom there. So, all righty, guys, have a great one, and we will catch you guys next time. Peace out.